So the best steaks are here in Alberta when you get the Alberta beef. So when you come to the Keg here, you get the best steak compared to anywhere. So let's go inside and check it out. So this is their signature rib steak, 20 ounces of Alberta beef. They source their beef from High River and the area. They probably process it at the Cargill meat plant. It's the world's biggest meat plant. So when you order Alberta beef, it's gonna be the best. Look at that, look at that. It's a medium rare steak. Perfectly done. You can taste the juices permeating in your mouth. The meat is so tender. That's tasty. That's delicious. This Alberta beef, I like baked potato with the works, but you can also get cauliflower mash and different kind of mashed potato. So what do you think of the steak?
Really good steak. When you cut through it, it's like cutting through butter.
Okay.
Like it's so easy to cut through.
That's a good sign of a good steak. Excellent steak. Look at that, look at that. Ooh, look at that. If you don't eat the steak, you can have the blackened chicken. So what do you think of your blackened chicken?
I think it seems it's more like juicier, and then the presentation is better.
Okay, fantastic. So the cooking here is better in Calgary at the Keg compared to the Kegs in Vancouver.
Yeah, it's not dry.
Yeah.
Like last time I had it, the Keg acid was in Vancouver.
Oh, okay, fantastic. That's nice and moist. Okay, good. Oh, you taste the difference, eh?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's softer.
Great. So here I have the, look at that, look at that. Here's the Alberta beef right at the Keg here. So you got the nice char marks here. And then you got the extra butter from the previous sourdough bread. I don't want to waste the butter. And then I get extra sourdough bread. I'm going to soak up the last juices with the sourdough bread.
Yeah, that's only perfect.
Okay. So put some butter from the sourdough bread. So you gotta have lots of butter on your steak sometimes. It was. It's great. Thank you. I hope yours is too. Wow. I'm at the stage where I'm speechless. It's so good. So great. When you eat a steak, it's not just a steak that has to be cooked to perfection. I have a baked potato with the works, and you can see the bacon bits. I just tested it. It's actually fresh bacon, and you got lots of sour cream and green onions. Bacon bits look really nice and fresh. Yeah, very right. The freshly cooked bacon bits. You get the mushrooms, that's an added bonus for the veggies. Grilled zucchini. So even though I eat a 20-ounce rib steak, I still get my veggies. But see, the old-fashioned steaks, they never use butter. It's just meat, nothing else.
And
right?
how they find it? They find with olive oil?
Well, before just oil, or just grill it.
Oil.
Sometimes with oil, yeah. But the thing is, they don't add other stuff to it. Yeah? So you know, like Gotham's a steakhouse in Vancouver.
Yeah.
They have one called Chicago style, which is basically it's burnt steak, but they artificially burn it with butter, so you don't have the real burnt Chicago steak. And this never existed. Even Gotham's, they never had that kind of choice before. It's just steak. Even a couple of years ago, Mom and I went, and they never had that choice. Well, Chicago. It's not a true Chicago. A true Chicago just burned the steak. So when I was young, I worked in that restaurant. Somebody wanted Chicago. I didn't know what it was, so I just left it on the grill. And they said, they want to burn steak, Chicago style. So I did it. It's already burnt. Because it's just sitting there for a while. The steakhouse, I ordered a High River steak. It's on the menu as High River. But they didn't do a very good job because they burnt one side and the other part was raw. So you got to be even cooked. Right? You got to learn how to do that. So I complained. So some of the people on my team, they said, I'm trying to scam another steak. I wasn't. I'm complaining. You call yourself a steakhouse in Alberta, it's got to be cooked to perfection. Otherwise, you can't call yourself a steakhouse. That's the way I look at it. Right? But even in our restaurant, our grandfather's restaurant, if somebody made a steak that wasn't very good, the customers come into the kitchen. The old days, they ordered 2 steaks, a 26-ounce porterhouse steak, and then a rib steak for dessert. That's another 20 ounce. That's 46 ounces. So
How you finish?
today I'm going to finish my brother's rib steak. So not quite another steak, but look at that, look at that. Another big piece of meat. This steak is actually more tender than mine. So it's probably cooked slightly less. So that's really good.
Yeah, maxed out.
And the best part is eating the rib here, the beef rib. It's not getting that sear. You have to really heat it up before you put it on.
Yeah, I think that was one mistake.
Today, I'm going to show you how to cook a perfect steak, or at least give you some tips on how to improve your steak cooking skills. So this part is at the end here. It's actually cooking slower than this part. So when the bone is, this part's bigger. So that would, I usually put the near the center of the heat where the bone is. Because it's thinner down here, but thicker down here, over here. So you just kind of swing it so the bone is in the middle. Same thing when you work on a grill in a restaurant. You put all the heat, you put the meat where the thickest part is, near the hottest heat source. Our steak here, we're going to cook half of it in the carbon steel wok and the other half in a cast iron pan. Preheat the wok. Just put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of cooking oil in there. So I've got the avocado oil here. Works really good for all-purpose cooking. This is the first meal I'm cooking on my small 8-inch carbon steel wok. So I've got a piece of New York steak. I'm going to grill it right in the wok. So this side goes on the cast iron pan. So cast iron pan works similar to a carbon steel pan or wok, except cast iron takes longer to heat but stays hot longer. Cast iron pan, just see the sear on this. Ooh, look at that, perfect sear, look at that. Ooh, look at the sear, look at that. Look at the sear. So this carbon steel wok is very thin in the middle, so it's going to cook real fast. So this is a thin wok, so it really cooks really fast. So look at the sear on the surface. Look at that sizzle, look at that sizzle. So it's, I would say roughly right now between the medium rare. So I'm going to take the stick off right now. Look at that, look at that. And here's the other steak from the wok. We'll just take that off right now as well. I joined the two pieces of the steak together. So it looks similar in the surface. Both has a real good sear on the first side. So on the other side, it's also got a nice sear. So I would say it works really well. Both works really well. Just keep in mind the carbon steel wok is a little bit thinner, so it will actually cook a lot faster. It heats up a lot faster as well. But similar cooking surface, I would say they are both excellent for cooking steak. So now we're just going to cut into the steak. So just let it cool off for at least 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, so the juices will reformulate into the meat. Ooh, look at that, look at that. So this is done perfectly between the medium rare. So you got a nice pink color there. So this is a steak using the carbon steel wok. That's perfectly done. This part of the steak was done in the cast iron pan. Ooh, look at that. Same. Perfect. Evenly seared. Nice color. So this is the piece using the cast iron pan. It's got the perfect sear on the outside surface. Inside is juicy.
So either carbon steel pan or wok works as well as a cast iron pan or wok. They both work equally well. The only difference is the cast iron takes longer to heat up. So you have to heat up longer before you cook. And also cast iron will stay hot longer. So both are good choices.